Teach Radio. Teach2Teach Radio. Education for all, for all, for all. Education for all, for all.
Welcome to Teach2Teach radio program. Today we are going to look at the topic community action to support schools. With me to do the discussion are
I'm Yakubu Suebatu from Warbo Akuku Ahmadiyya Primary School.
Mr. Abdullah Swalihu, Pandulu EA Primary School.
Affair Elizabeth, Holy Rosary Primary School, Sankpala.
And I'm Zubilim Hadi, a teacher from Warbo Akuku Ahmadiyya Primary School, Tolong.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are most welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start with the question, how do the community members support our schools for improved learning outcomes?
Yeah, Alaji, to start with, I have seen that communities play a variety of roles to ensure that there is quality teaching and learning in the schools. And for that matter, they need to know the school system better in order to be able to support the schools. And there are so many ways community can support schools in their community. One of the ways is providing them with low-cost teaching and learning resources. Some of these resources that we use in our schools are low, and some of them are even non-cost resources. They don't involve money. In my school, for example, last term, the community members came and donated us bottle tops in large quantities, which we use in our mathematics class, especially during topics that involves counting.
Good. Any other?
One action a community can support the school is the provision of infrastructure, like building of structures for learners to sit, building of urinary pits or toilets for learners to use. I think it's one thing that the community can do to support.
Can you give an example of the kind of support they
An
give to your
example
school?
is my former school, for example, where people used to sit under trees. When the youth in the community thought of building up the classroom for the children to sit, to have a conducive learning atmosphere.
Good. Do we have more contributions?
I'll just start by saluting my community because I observe that almost what all of them are saying, I see it in my community too. But what usually makes me much excited in my community is them helping in the co-curricular activities. In the early morning, what they usually do is that they come to our school. There was a time where one non-governmental organization called the Lovely Mind, they teach them how to engage with their wards. So they usually come to the school in the morning.
What kind of activity do they do?
They do activities like sports and games, dancing, singing with the children in the early morning.
Okay.
So they will do it before the school time. And sometimes when we finish after the school, sometimes they will come back and do it again before they go. And that is what usually attracts me and makes me much excited.
Very good. Any other?
Okay, to add to what my colleagues are saying, in our community, for instance, some of the parents also do check on the attendance and the truant children.
Will you agree that all community members in your schools are always ready to contribute either financially or otherwise to support the schools?
In our school, I disagree. They don't contribute.
Some of them, or is it all of them?
Some.
I would say almost all.
All right, that's fine.
The reason is that they usually come and tell them that the government says that it's a free compulsory basic education. So as a result of that, they should not contribute anything. This is what they usually tell them. But actually, we don't also stop. We do sensitize them. We tell them to do little. At least when they do it, maybe little by little, when the problem comes, they will be able to come in and help the school. So in our side, it's difficult for them to contribute sincerely.
They are not contributing. Any other?
Financial support from the community to support the school isn't such a bad idea. An example is a school with problem with water. I know of a school that each morning when the children are coming, they will have to carry water on their heads to bring to school. And as they are coming, the water pours on them, making them look dirty, wet. So the PTA sat and realized that it was causing a problem for the children. And I think the school itself, they sat and then thought they would have to do some little contribution to buy a poly tank for the school so that during the rainy season they can harvest water to keep, so that when there's shortage in water at the school, then they will use that one. And I think doing that helped the children a lot. Some will have to walk miles to get the water to school, because if the child does not bring the water to school, maybe he or she might be punished. And because he or she doesn't want to be punished, he has to go look for the water and bring. And coming with the water, wetting the child, making the child dirty, and coming, sometimes they come sit in class and they feel so restless because they are tired. So I think financial support from the community to support the school isn't such a bad idea.
Thank you very much.
Teach2Teach Radio, education for all, for all, for all.
Now let's look at this contextual issue of PTA. This time round, they are saying that no more parent-teacher association, but we have parents association. Which is which?
There is this one I want to talk about.
Very brief, please.
So last time our community members came and donated to our school dustbins, and they used local materials called jerrycans to do that. So I have to share with listeners and other schools who are watching or listening to us. It can also be an initiative that they can also take up in order to support their schools in their community.
That was excellent. Yeah. That was excellent. Now to the question.
PA is going to be a problem because they are supposed to work with the school, and some of the problems that is facing the school, some of them it is the teachers or the authority which normally send them to the parents. There are some which are management issues, but parents can also help. So if teachers are not involved and it is only parents and they are going to work in the schools, there's going to be a problem because there will not be that much relationship between the teachers and the parents. And when that relationship does not exist, there's going to be a vacuum somewhere.
A vacuum somewhere. That's brilliant.
Well,
yes, Elizabeth.
Please, I want to differ a bit.
From what he has
With
said.
that,
You
yes.
agree with the PA? Okay.
With the PTA, as we used to know,
No.
and now they are saying with the PA,
Yes.
which is Parent
Association.
To me, the PTA is a collaboration between the school and the community. But right now they want to say the PA, which is solely the parents.
Parents only.
The child's parents.
Child's
Yes.
parents. You are right.
It's going to be a big problem. Because sometimes even the parent of the child does not even know the class in which the child
child's
is.
classes, yes.
So right now, if you are dissolving the PTA and you're now saying PA, which I don't come in, and you the parent alone, what are you trying to tell me? How do I bring up my problem to you so that you solve the problem for me? You don't monitor your child. You don't support. You don't do
Work with the
anything.
teachers.
You don't know anything about the school. So right now you are trying to take me out and you alone to manage it. Do you think this will be fair to us?
I will differ with my colleague. No, they say PA, Parents Association. That doesn't mean that the parent will not be able to visit the schools to find out how their how their
My
wards
brother,
are
wait,
doing.
what I'm trying
You
to
see-
say is
Okay.
there are parents who don't visit. They don't come to the school.
Still.
Theirs is to wake up in the morning, prepare the child, and push the child, go to school. Period.
Still.
How do you get such a parent
I'm
to
coming.
talk to?
What I'm trying to put across is this. You know, their parents, they can have their association. The leaders usually come to the school. They know the problems that exist in our various schools. So when they go back, they can deliberate with it. If it is about the teachers, the leaders can come and talk to you. So that's their association. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see
So we
anything wrong with
we
that.
should agree with the authorities.
We can agree with them.
That,
There's nothing
PA
wrong with
is
that.
good. No teacher should be
Yeah,
involved.
because they can still come to the school
Yeah.
and check the truancy. They can come for
Monitor.
the attendance. They can come and see. They can
What
monitor
is happening?
us.
That is fine.
Yeah, and where
Time
I'm
is on our
disagreeing
side.
strongly with my colleague is that there are some issues about a child. You cannot share it with anybody unless the child, direct parent.
Deal.
And sometimes, even when teachers are put into it, we get to know the parents of our wards better.
Yes.
So, but with the PA, you are not involved. How do you get to know if the parent of your child is the type who does not visit the school? Some of the issues that we have with our learners, they are private issues which we need to discuss with their parents themselves, not sharing it through somebody.
That,
Okay, you can now come.
that even buttress my point. You know, their parents, their students. You're supposed to know your people's parents. Any information that you want to share about the child with the caregiver, you can go direct to the parents. Beside that, they are not saying that they cannot visit our schools. As they usually come to see their wards as to whether they are attending the school or not, you will get to know their parents because they have been coming. And when you say that they cannot have their own meetings, why not? They can. It's just because you are organizing it. That's why they wait till you organize it. But if it is shifted to them, definitely they will get used to it and they will also organize their own.
Thank
So
you
I
very
don't-
much
I
for your
disagree.
contribution. Yes.
My brother, please. The thing is, right now, what they are trying to do is to take the teacher out of their decision making.
Yes.
That is the problem we now have. I am with the child.
Yes.
I am in that environment. I know what the problem is. If I don't come to you to confront you with issues that we are facing with, how do you as a parent get to know?
I started my disagreement by saying that it is your duty. You know, they have leaders. I said it earlier on. They are not saying that you can't meet them.
The collaboration that was between us and them wouldn't be there anymore.
The school problem still exists. When they come to you, they will go and deliberate about that problems. They will still know what is going on in the school. That doesn't mean they can.
Okay, I think we have had enough of this debate. I think the authorities will need to really look at the design. They should define the rules and the responsibilities of the PA and how this PA can relate with the school authority. And that will lead us to a destination that we will understand ourselves. Time is on our side. Okay. Let's look at the impact of this particular aspect of new structure. If they start to work, what happens? How will it affect the schools?
Most of them, for example, for a whole academic year in a class, a parent may not visit the ward. Then, within the academic year, you are supposed to make a certain decision. One, you've not stepped in the school to know what the problem is. Two, you've not spoken to me outside the school to know what the problem is. And the third party in this whole thing is the child. Maybe you have not also sat the child down to ask the child what his needs or her needs are. And you are going to make a decision. How do you go about it?
So what will happen in the end?
Nothing is going to happen.
Okay, somebody
You make a decision.
very brief. Our time is up.
Yeah, even though I disagree with the PA, I'm going to say one impact of the PA, the positive one is that it will put teachers on their toes. Because sometimes when parents sit to talk in the presence of teachers, they don't highlight their mistakes.
Exactly.
But when the teacher is excluded, they will highlight the mistakes of the teachers and their leaders will get it to them.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Our time is up, and then we hope to meet next week again. So that we're hoping that you will again make yourself available for us to discuss the next topic. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Teach2Teach Radio. Teach2Teach Radio. Education for all. For all. For all. Education for all. For all.
Hi, this is Wiyala. I support Teach2Teach because education changes lives, especially for girls. So let's take advantage of the positive impact education can have on our lives, our communities, and our people.
Teach2Teach is produced by Teach2Teach International in collaboration with the Center for Literacy and Vocational Studies, Ronin Africa, and Radio Savannah. You can find Teach2Teach International and Teach2Teach Radio on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.